Hi there, my name is Steve Gerhardt, and as always, this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the first episode of the 2024 season. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. The interludes videos are over and done with. So now we are moving forward on the season, and I've got some stuff to talk to you about today. So let's get right into it. Alright, a couple announcements. First of all, for those of you who watched us during the weekly dig, you know we took a hiatus, and if you haven't been back recently, you should, because we've actually come back and we're doing the anime brief. So please check it out. The link is down below, and it's going to be some kind of cool stuff going on over there with me, Brent, and John. So please, by all means, check out the link. 7 o'clock on Sundays. So hope to see you there. Second announcement, fun announcement. OnCon is back. Yes, the free online convention that we started during pandemic. OnCon 10 is going to be showing up on April 13th. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's literally a free online convention. It's chock full of panels, and let's see, we got a whole slew of stuff going on. Again, the link will be down below for that, so you can check out the schedule. I'm doing a couple panels, Brent's doing a couple panels, we got other people doing panels, and it's going to be a fun time, and it's free. Did I mention that? It's free. So not only is it free, but if you have a YouTube account and you want to sign into your account and then come in on April 13th and join in on the fun, you can actually be part of the chat. And we do a Q&A after every panel. Some of the panels are recorded, some are done live, but we have a Q&A afterwards, after each one, so you guys can talk amongst yourselves, ask us questions, the whole shebang. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We will see you there. Okay, let's get on with the rest of the video. Okay, so I went to Atomic Books again. For those of you who don't know, Atomic Books is a alternative bookstore here in Baltimore. It's got a whole bunch of cool stuff. It's not just a comic book store. It's not just a manga store. It actually has interesting literature and documentaries and things like that. They play really cool music in there. And they're right next door to a vinyl record store that I'm going to get into in just a little bit. But one of the things that they have at Atomic Books, by the way, the link will be down below, is like these kind of like boxes of comics that they sell for, like, you know, real cheap, like, you know, you get 5 for $5, that kind of a thing. So I just took my grubby paw and I just arbitrarily grabbed a bunch of comics. So let's start off with, and I read them, and so let's just do a quick review of these guys from least to best. So the first one was actually four issues, called Domino Hotshots from Marvel. So obviously it's Domino, the character, for those of you who are familiar. And as you can see, this is kind of like a impromptu grouping of heroines doing the thing. Deadpool eventually becomes involved in issue 2. All right, there you go. And I gotta tell you, I'm sure there is an audience for this. It's not me. I'm not going to say that it was bad, because it wasn't, but it's just not my gig. Maybe for you. Give it a try. The story starts off with basically a unknown thing coming from space, and it lands. A scientist comes in and checks it out, and he gets horribly corrupted, and the Celestials are involved in somehow, some way, and they just kind of go through the motions of trying to prevent the bad guys from getting this power source. That's basically what this is, I believe. My sense is that this did not last very long. Alright, so that is Hotshots from Marvel, and in my grubby little paws, I managed to grab the first four issues. Alright, the next one is from Boom Studios, and they got the rights to do The Vampire Slayer from the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Interesting cover. I like the cover a lot. Kind of neat graphic. If you're a fan of the franchise, this might do it for you. It's very minimal. I gotta tell you, though, I gotta warn you, it's very, very minimal. And the story is you're regular Buffy the Vampire story, except in this case it has to deal with a giant weird demonic crab thing, and Willow does her thing in here. Very short. I think what you're paying for is the cover. It's just a standard story. Still though, I do like the cover. Alright, next up. Sorry, I had a little bit of a coughing jag, so let's try this again. For all things Star Wars, Halcyon Legacy, Galactic Star Cruiser. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the Star Wars universe, and there's a lot of things that a lot of stories to be told and things like that. This is one of many. It's kind of an interesting premise in that, you know, you have a Wookiee Jedi. Yes, there's a Wookiee Jedi in this story. But really, it's about the spaceship, the Halcyon. And apparently this is a very old cruiser. It's around 300 years old. And it's about stories about this particular cruiser. And the first story they tell is about a Wookiee Padawan, actually, and his Jedi Master, and how they save the ship, so to speak. So, interesting story. If you're a Star Wars buff, this is kind of a thing. This is kind of fun. I enjoyed reading it. You know, I'm not a huge. I mean, I watch Star Wars. I'm familiar with Star Wars. I enjoy Star Wars, but I'm not a super fan. But I always find things like this very interesting, and so please check this out. Again, from Marvel. Okay, this next one is kind of interesting. It's from Awa Upshot Studios. It is a mature comic, meaning, well, I'm just going to show you the graphic and you'll see what I mean. Yeah. So basically, this is a noir comic. I got into issue 2. There's supposed to be 5 issues of this in this miniseries called Hit Me. So I got into issue 2. I am interested in this. It's basically a crime story about a robbery gone wrong. We all know that cliche story, but it's kind of interesting. And if you got a fetish vibe, this will work for you, I think. But anyway, so I'm kind of intrigued about the story. I like noir stories like that. And it was... And the fetish didn't get in the way of the story, so that's always good. The art in here is kind of interesting. It is violent, so it is definitely for mature readers. But I think a very niche audience. So if you like noir like noir detective, crime stories, things like that, give this guy a try. All right, so we have a variant edition from Marvel, and it's Spider-Punk. Yep, there you go. So it's set in a world of basically, if 1980s punk anarchy were the state of the world, then this is what this comic is. So Spider-Punk, he's part of a group of young heroes. One of his besties is Captain Anarchy, looks like Captain America, of course, and they kind of go toe to toe with other punk bands. The first one that you come across is Craven's neo-fascist punk band, gang, whatever, and yeah, it's hyper violent. It's a variant, so you're not going to get much out of this in terms of story, but interesting concept, interesting art. If you like variant type of stuff, this will definitely do it for you. All right, this one just makes me laugh. It's called Quested by Whatnot Publishing Company. All right, so our main hero here, what they do is they're kind of like a little bit of a merc company. Kind of give you an idea of the art style, right? And they do things like protect or save princesses for money and things like that. And he's looking to retire to the better part of town. He's in the bad part of town. And of course, they go on these quests and crazy adventures. It very much reminds me of a little bit of Gru. If you remember Sergio Aragonés's Gru, the Wanderer. And a little bit of, and this is a deep dive, and most of you may not know this, Ralph Snart. If you know Ralph Snart, then, and you like Ralph Snart, you're probably going to like this. Fun little thing, very irreverent. If you're a player of Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing fantasy games, this is cheeky, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's a fun little thing. A very interesting horror comic from Heavy Metal. Yes, as in Heavy Metal, the magazine. And I was greatly intrigued by this. And I am going to actually... This is one of those things where you find and you know it's older. I think this is probably... when was this created? This was created in... 3 years ago. So clearly this title is probably already done. And I think I might actually search it out just to read it. I think it was a good read. If you like horror, if you like sort of Cult of Cthulhu, zombie kind of thing going on, this is it. All right, that's an island, skull and all that. And so basically it's set in the year of 1954. The comic starts with a bombing run over a Japanese island, and things happen. And the protagonist, the guy who is the captain of the B-52, not B-52, B-29, kind of says, he's just like, he's remembering this as he's working on his farm in 1954, and you come to discover that there are zombies in his basement of his farmhouse, and he sacrifices things to pagan gods and stuff, and it's kind of interesting. Romero is involved, Ponce is involved, Protobunker is also involved with this, George C. Romero, by the way. So yeah, this was kind of interesting. I'm gonna have to check more about it and let you guys know. If you're into that kind of stuff, look for this. I think you'll be quite satisfied. So I am familiar with this artist. He's kind of a semi-local artist, Harry Nordlinger. He has a very distinctive art style. Picked up I think his latest is called Night Cruising. Actually, it's not that recent, but you know what I mean. But it's kind of that art style. So if you're familiar with this guy, you know that this guy kind of goes in places. It's about a year old, so it's not that old. He does independent comics. They push the envelope. So I knew that this was going to be noir. I knew this was going to be kind of dark. I didn't realize that it was going to be grim dark. So this goes places. It's very good. It's very violent. It's very touchy on certain issues, and it's a short thing. And if you like really edgy comics that kind of goes to really dark places, check this out. Local guy. All right, so the winner of this batch that I stuck, like I said, my big ass grubby paw in there and grabbed things, was another Marvel comic, issue number 1. And this is another comic that I think I'm going to try to find and actually read more. So it's a variant. It's of sorts. It's a second printing. Okay, got it. Captain Carter, right? As in Carter from the movies. Remember the What If story? On Disney Plus. So this is, Captain Carter. What if she was, got the super serum kind of thing. And the story is basically retelling remember how we saw in Captain America in the movies, they find the plane in the Arctic and they thaw him out and that kind of stuff. Same thing, same idea, except it's the United Kingdom, England, and it's Captain Carter that they thaw out and find and give her back her shield and stuff like that. And the story starts off with, basically bringing her back into the world, and the British government saying, hey, look, everyone else has superheroes, and you're really kind of it for our country, so we need you to come back and take on the shield and do the thing and defend Britain. And she's kind of like, I did my gig, and everybody I know is dead, and please let me process this. So things happen that, of course, forces her to take up the shield again, so to speak. It was very, very, very... The art is good. I enjoyed the art. Let me find a decent... some decent panels here. The art is very nice. I'll just show you the thing here. Right? So, the story was very, very well written. This is a very well done story. Even though it's reminiscent of Captain America, Steve Rogers' Captain America, it was really well done. If you're going to take a variant, you're going to alter a story, and you're going to kind of retcon it a little bit into a variant universe, this was exceptionally well done. And if there's some of you out there, I know some of you out there are just like, oh, why do we have to give it a rest? All right. This is good. This isn't woke. That's not any of that. This is just a good, solid story. I really want more of this. I really enjoyed this first issue, and I'm going to look for more. So yeah, if you happen to want to check this out, this variant out, please do. It is, like I said, a very, very, very well written story. Okay, so that's it from Atomic Books. This time around, I'm sure I'll get more and show you more. But yeah, so that was some comic book reviews of just a blind grab of things. All right, let's go on to the next subject. Okay, so for this past Christmas, I got myself a record player that I can play vinyl records on. The reason why I did that is because a lot of stuff that I'm interested in is you can't find on CD anymore, or they're not digitized, so you can't hear it on Spotify or what other streaming services. And they're hard to find, and so I got that so that I could play these records. But that's one reason. The other reason why I got this was because it's a good way to find interesting Japanese music. By interesting, I'm talking about punk, thrash, hardcore, metal, that kind of stuff. I had been in this particular store called Celebrated Summer Records, which is right next door to Atomic Books. And I would love to give you a website, but they don't really have a website. They have a blog that hasn't been updated in a couple of years, and they have a you can find them on Facebook, but it's not very well updated. But should you happen to be in Baltimore in the Hampton neighborhood, please check them out. Again, I got their little card, Celebrated Summer Records. So please check them out if you're into vinyl, that kind of thing. Want to create a vinyl collection. And so anyway, I went in there because a few months ago I had actually gone there and seen a Cruel Angel's Thesis LP, which is just that song done about 3 or 4 different ways, club remixes and stuff like that on vinyl. The actual album art was kind of interesting, very minimalistic character designs from Evangelion. And I was thinking about getting it, and I had forgotten how expensive it was. But when I came in recently to buy it, I learned that it was sold for $150. I'm not sure I probably would have dumped $150 on that. Instead, I said to the guy, well, I kind of like punk bands, Japanese punk bands like The Nurse and Gizm. Is there anything that you can show me that would be, something that I might be interested in? And so for the next hour, dude, owner of the store, took me on this whirlwind tour of Japanese thrash, metal, punk, and gave me a whole bunch of recommendations about a whole bunch of different albums. And today I'm going to talk about Paintbox Earthball Sports Tournament. So the band is Paintbox. Album is their second album, Earthball Sports Tournament. This is a reissue, by the way, so this is not an original. It came out as a CD. It did come out as a CD, which is very hard to find. They did a reissue of the vinyl, and then they did a second reissue, which is this one. And, yeah, just kind of give you an idea. There's that. Some interesting people on the other side there, right? So, this is a very interesting album. It has the legendary thrash metal guitarist Chelsea is part of this band, and he wrote all 14 songs. And it is a you definitely get the thrash metal in there, but this is more hardcore. This is more punk hardcore than anything else, I feel. So if you're looking for something that's slamming, like something that's a more produced sound than like old DC punk bands like Black Flag and Minor Threat, if you're looking at something a little bit more produced but still has that slamming, just wash bit kind of thing going on, this is definitely it. The lyrics to this are kind of dark. This reissue has as part of one of their inserts, actual lyrics to it, and it's kind of fun because on the one side, I don't know if you can see that, all Japanese, right? But here we go. Yeah, we got English back there. So this was kind of fun being able to actually get the gist of the song. Because this is kind of borderline thrash, hardcore punk kind of thing going on, the voices are not like that, but it's not high pitched screaming as it would be in punk. It's kind of like that weird middle ground. And Chelsea's guitars just screamed through it. For those of you who know who that is, you already know that he has long since passed. For those of you who are not familiar with Chelsea and you enjoy metal and maybe thrash metal, you should just look him up online and just start looking through his work. It's worth mentioning. He's an amazing guitarist. The guitars are amazing on this album. Again, this is intense stuff. This is not cutesy kind of J-pop stuff. This is not baby metal. Okay. Baby metal's good. I like baby metal. No, not at all. This is dark stuff or dark, meaningful stuff, I should say, and it is very, very strongly fast-paced, and they just wail on their instruments. But the interesting thing is that you hear Chelsea's guitar coming up from underneath, and it just kind of takes over, and it's very melodic. It's very intense is the best word I can give it. Just to kind of give you an idea, I'm going to read some of the lyrics. So this is from the song Hayukushi Iken. Here's some lyrics from that. The feeling with no personality numbs your senses. Rejection with no reason takes away your potential. If we go to the second song, Pressure, here's some lyrics. If you throw out metals, feelings, and everything, you will find the answer on your contorted face. Fun stuff, right? Round and roll, muddiness, mixture, color, mass eternity, tongue, squalidness, karma, turn around, rolling around and run, turn around, racing around time. The scar, that's another song. The thought to be satisfied swallows everything, little by little makes me forget what to do. The step I have missed makes the conviction full. Nothing has changed, even if I look back. So this is not, fun, happy go time, Teen Titans kind of knife songs, shonen knife songs. This is gritty. This is almost nihilistic. This is basically just saying, hey, the world is, you can be complacent and be fake, or you can deal with your really raw, hurtful, edged emotions and try to come out with something on the other side. May not be great, but at least it'll be true to yourself. Very, very dark stuff. meaningful but dark. So you have to be a certain frame of mind to listen to this album. Do I recommend this album? Yes, I most certainly do. If you are, though, J-pop, which is nothing wrong, K-pop, nothing wrong, not for you. If you are hardcore punk, if you are thrash metal, if you're metal in general, or you want something that's just in your face intense, check this out. Again, I will show it to you. It is Paintbox Earthball Sports Tournament. This is the reissue. Specializing with Chelsea, the guitarist, thrash metal guitarist. And yeah, check it out. All right, so that's going to be it for this week. I went on a little bit longer on the other two things, so I didn't get to the anime this week, but I will next week. I promise. We will talk about anime next week. Speaking of anime, don't forget April 13th, starting at 11 a.m. The link, of course, will be down below. OnCon 10, yes, OnCon 10, free online anime convention. So check the link out, see which one, if you want to show up and watch us on YouTube, and yeah, go from there. Also, don't forget the Anime Brief. Yes, over on Anime Archaeology YouTube channel. You can watch that. We actually are going to be doing Twitch simultaneously. So if you have a Twitch account, you can watch it there if you would like. And of course, the chat functions are always up. So please join us. Ask us questions and things. We would love to see you there. 7 p.m. on Sunday evenings. So we will hopefully see you there and say hello. And yeah, that's going to be it this week. So stay healthy. Stay good. I'm going to see you at future conventions this year in 2024. And as always, watch more anime.